Catching a cat staring from across the room can be an unsettling experience. That intense focus is a highly selective form of communication, reserved for the individuals they trust the most. Dogs evolved in packs, relying on eye contact to coordinate complex hunts. Cats descended from solitary hunters, where locking eyes signaled a direct challenge or a physical threat. This diagram shows how the solitary nature of wildcats shifted during the domestication process toward a reduction of fear and anxiety around humans. Through this adaptation, domestic cats developed social referencing, the ability to look directly at humans to gather information and gauge whether a situation is safe. Human brains are not naturally wired to intuitively grasp the body language of a solitary predator. We often misinterpret these visual cues because we project our own social expectations onto a biological system we are still learning to read. Distinguishing between these subtle shifts in eye movement allows a human to determine whether a cat is requesting interaction or experiencing genuine environmental distress. A cat's eye functions as a biological dashboard. By observing the shape of the pupil, you can monitor their internal levels of tension and arousal in real time. The steel stare-down, narrowed, slitted pupils paired with a tense, arched posture, indicates the feline nervous system has entered fight or flight mode. Returning a hard stare when a cat is in this state is perceived as an escalation. Instead of offering comfort, you are presenting a direct challenge, increasing their perceived level of threat. On the opposite end of the spectrum is the predator pupil. The pupils expand to cover the iris, maximizing incoming light and visual data. This rapid dilation occurs when hunting instincts are triggered by a flying insect, a feather toy, or sudden movement under a blanket. Senior cats displaying chronically dilated pupils without an external stimulus require immediate veterinary evaluation. This often signals serious underlying conditions like primary hypertension or glaucoma. Aside from medical issues, these dilations are involuntary autonomic responses. The eye broadcasts the cat's immediate readiness for defensive action or predatory play. When the arousal level drops to its lowest point, the cat enters a parasympathetic rest and digest state of ultimate relaxation. In 2020, researchers at the University of Sussex published data on a specific eye-narrowing movement commonly referred to as the slow blink. The physiological mechanics of the slow blink require the cat to drop its predatory visual guard. They choose to heavily lid or fully close their eyes in the presence of another creature. This half-closed, lingering gaze is the feline equivalent of a vulnerable smile, signaling that the cat feels entirely safe in your presence. This represents a massive evolutionary shift where a solitary predator has adapted its primary defense mechanism, constant visual vigilance, into an active expression of interspecies trust. Building a connection with a cat requires an active response to these visual cues rather than passive observation. If you encounter the narrow-eyed steel stare-down, immediately break eye contact to diffuse the tension. The persistent stare is different. It's a steady, wide-eyed gaze cats use to train their humans to provide food or attention. To return a slow blink, make soft eye contact, slowly close your eyes, open them, and then politely look slightly away. The Sussex study proved this technique works. Cats are measurably more likely to approach a human who successfully executes this specific slow blink sequence. By engaging in this shared visual language, a creature hardwired for solitary survival has bridged the communication gap between two entirely different species. When a cat stares from across a room, they designate you as their safe focal point. They don't have to look, they choose you.